Welcome to PokéBiz, and I'm about to show you how to turn these into this. Hey guys, welcome back, and today we have some big news, at least for the investment side of things. Celebrations is going out of print. And now, as we keep going, all the prices that you'll see will be from tcgplayer.com. And personally, from the Pokemon TCG, they announced, as you can read, that ETBs and other commemorative items will only be available while supplies last or until February 26th from 4 p.m. PT, which means that these things are going out of print way faster than most people predicted. And that means that a lot of this stuff is going to start rising in prices really fast. And now I know that a lot of these stuff was printed to the ground, like they were just shoveling ETBs and all that stuff into like retailers, and distributors were just pumping them out constantly because like it was a 25th celebrations. Of course they were. They want everybody to enjoy themselves, and they printed it as long as the demand was there. But now with Brilliant Stars coming out, now with like Fusion Strike still being around, and they still need to print this other stuff, they clearly need to make space for the other upcoming sets. So, and like it's a celebration, so they're not gonna do it forever. Like, what's the point of celebrating the 25th year Pokemon when it's already the halfway through the 26th year? Like, just it doesn't make sense. So they ended it, which means that there's some items you really need to be looking for. And the first one we're going to go over, of course, the one that's on everybody's mind, is the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. Now, I bit the bullet. I bought one at scalper prices of around $270, and because in my mind, I was like, they're not going to reprint this. Like, I know there was a possibility where they could, but in my mind, it was like, there's metal cards, which are really hard to make and produce. Plus, it has so much value in terms of like actual packs in the thing that, like, let's say 5 years like down the road when people really want to open up Celebrations, this is probably what they're going to want to buy. It has so many cards in there. It has exclusive product in here. It's just the product to have. Now, does this mean that I believe you missed the mark on like buying this while it was still cheaper, even at scalper prices? Yeah, sort of. And it's kind of a real sad truth. Like honestly, it is incredibly sad that I wasn't able to pick anything up for retail price. I feel like a lot of you haven't been able to pick up anything from retail price, which is kind of like the sad thing about like the people. And like now this is the norm. This price is now the new norm. But back when it wasn't, like, there was many individuals that bought up a ton of these and just sold it at just horrendous pricing, at least in the very beginning. And it's a rough reality. And especially that it's not getting reprinted like they want. Like in this case, like they were on the mark and they gained a lot of money from it. So as we can see though, from this Ultra Premium Collection, at one point it was around $485, and it just went down as more got into the market. But at the tail end, it's creeping up. And I feel like there's going to be a slight extra jump coming here soon once it starts reaching people's ears that there's no longer going to be a reprint, a celebration. It's like, because everybody had it in their hearts that, there's going to be more coming. The regular person will be able to get their hands on this at cheaper prices. So they were holding out. They weren't buying it at scalper prices. They were just holding out. But now that it's official that they're no longer going to reprint this stuff, whoever has it in their hands, they have the power now. So they'll still whatever they want. The fact that there's not a lot of it makes this even like a bigger thing to own. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. There's still some of this stuff laying around. Like some of these bigger chain companies like Walmart, some of this like some other like small brick and mortar locations, they're holding on to this stuff. Like they were kind of peeved that there were individuals that were just buying this up from them at very cheap prices and then just selling it for a profit, like just 10 days later or like a day later. Like, so they were holding on to it. They're like, you know what, we'll just sell this and slowly distribute it as time goes on. So you might, very rarely, but there's a possibility that you might just end up finding this like randomly on a shelf somewhere. And when you do pick that thing up, like snag it, protect it. Like it's the last lifeline you got. And like, I'll keep an eye out for certain stores that I know have stocked this and still have the image available, which means that they might still possibly get some in from their own inventory and post it. So I'm keeping an eye out. I know I bought a UPC for $250 on Zulu Games, and it came back all right. Like, I saw nothing wrong with it. So yeah, it's a pretty good price compared to what they're selling for now. Like selling for around like $317 is the market price for this. Like this one is like $303 basically, but it has $15 shipping. Just ridiculous pricing. I'm still like looking for the best price, even though they're scalper prices now. Moving on, this is moving into more reasonable valued items I believe you should be able to pick up. Now, the Pokemon Center ETB is no longer available on the site, but you can still find some running around. It's a shame you weren't able to pick it up around $50, but then again, like, it is, I would say, the second best product to buy from the Celebration set. And it's because it's a bigger version of the ETB. It's exclusive. People love hearing that exclusive word. Like years back, they're like, "Ooh, what can I own?" Well, clearly Celebration's UPC is way out of my budget. So what else can I get that makes me still feel, you know, special? And this is what they're going to look at: the exclusive Pokemon Center ETB. It's just bigger, has more packs. Good. Now moving on, this is my third choice. The Celebrations ETB, just the regular version. And I know a lot of people might not think this, but I personally love ETBs. I believe they are a mainstay. They're never going to go away. They're incredibly collectible. Like right now, I separated my things from investments and what I actually collect. And my personal collection involves, I want to own every single ETB from the Sword and Shield era and up, because this is kind of the set that kind of brought me back into Pokemon. And that is my goal. That is what I'm collecting, and I'm separating that from my investments. But because I'm pretty sure there's many others like me that collect ETBs because they're just really pretty, they're easy to store, easy to move around, and they look amazing, chances are someone in the future is going to look back at this and like, you know what, I'm going to need to pick up, like, I want to pick up all the Celebration in these ETBs, and they're going to pick up this. So yeah, that is why I'm putting in there. It's easy to store. It looks great. It's incredibly collectible, even looking outside the packs and stuff that's in it. Yeah, so that's my number 2 spot when it comes to affordable collection pieces. Moving on, we have the Pikachu V Union box. Again, it's just a box that screams Pikachu. It's literally a Pikachu-made box. Plus, it has a lot of Celebrations packs in it, which, as we saw, are now going out of print, which will make them more and more valuable over time. You have other packs in there, as you can see just from the picture. There's like Battle Styles and Darkness Ablaze, which might not look pretty now, but Battle Styles is out of print. Darkness Ablaze, I'm not sure if they're going to get a reprint or not, because like, they always are kind of funky about it. But like, I don't think they're ever going to reprint Battle Styles ever again. They've already over-reprinted it. They already... places are trying to sell it as quickly as possible, so they hate that they have so much in. Yeah, so Battle Styles is out of print, which means it's probably gonna get more valuable over time as people start opening them up because they don't think it's as valuable. Now, final thing for the number 4 spot on affordable investments. We already went over it, so we're gonna quickly go through it. Atlantis Charizard Celebrations box. Again, Charizard, always gonna be a collectible product. There's literally people that just collect Charizards. And chances are there's someone in the future who gets in the hobby like, you know what, I also want to just collect Charizards. We're going to go back and be like, I want to get this box because it has Charizard on it. Plus, the out-of-print Celebrations is going to just up the price of the box even more. I believe it's a good pickup. And I got a few of my own. Moving on. And congratulations to the one that won it. To honorable mentions. So I have reasons to putting this in the honorable mentions and not putting it in the actual investments that I would personally put it in. First, we have the Celebrations Pikachu VMAX Premium Figure Collection box. I believe if you have the space for this thing, get it. Absolutely. It is a wonderful thing to invest in. A beautiful product. It's a beautiful centerpiece. If you're a big Pikachu fan, it's a must-have. But to me, personally, who has barely any space, like in my car, whenever I move around and do things, I don't have room for this. It won't fit in my heavy-duty protective Tupperware. Plus, even if I did try to fit it in the Tupperware, I'm afraid it just would crease the box. Like, I'm a big big like a proponent or like of not selling damaged goods, and this thing is easily creased. If you had the box in front of you, you see that a lot of the cardboard edges are sticking out like just openly, which means it's very easy for something just to bump into and crease the box. If you are a buyer and someone's like sent you something that even if the inside product was okay, there's nothing wrong with the inside product and goods, but if the box itself was damaged, you wouldn't pick it up. How many times have you went to Walmart and saw, oh hey, it's a exclusive Walmart like box, but hey, there was a tear or a rip in it, and that made you hesitate. Let's be honest, even if everything in the goods and sealed was good in there, if it was torn or creased, you would hesitate in buying it. You'd be like, is this even worth it? Even if it was like the last one on the shelf. And you're like, there's a reason why it's the last one on the shelf. Not a lot of people wanted it. So that's why I personally stick away from this thing. For one, space. Two, it's easily damaged, and I would hate to sell a damaged product to a customer. Or if I did, I would lower the price in order to like mitigate that. Be like, hey, this is damaged, so I'm lowering the price. And like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that with anything I want to invest in. So I personally stick away from this. But that's just me. And again, if you find a good one in the wild and it's cheap and everything's all right with it, go ahead, please do. Oh my gosh, these things are wonderful. Moving on, we have the Celebrations Zacian Level X Deluxe Pin Collection. I believe this is a good pickup. Zacian V is a relatively popular Pokemon, but the reason why it's in the honorable mentions is that it's not as popular as, let's say, the Sylveon or the Charizard box. So if you have $27 laying around, I would rather put that into a Charizard box than I would this box itself. So that's why it's in the honorable mentions. Again, if you find one for cheap, pick it up. But if not, like, invest that in other things that I believe will have a better return. All right, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed, and leave in the comments if you believe there's other products that you believe I overlooked, and give me your reasoning. I love constructive criticism. That's how we grow. People who are too sensitive at this type of stuff never grow. Accountability. Keep me accountable. If there's stuff that you don't believe I'm well versed in, I'll work on that. That's why I have this channel. So please, please, please leave comments. I want to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, have a dandy day. Let's go.